Become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the golden era of bodybuilding. Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today I'd like to talk about Reg Park's high volume routine which he used to prepare for the Mr. Europe and later on for the 1950 Mr. Universe competition, which he then lost to Steve Reeves, where he came second actually. In the past I've discussed Reg Park's blueprint, in which he focused heavily on basic compound movements and the use of the 20 rep squat method to develop his rugged physique, which won him of course the Mr. Britain competition in 1949. In an interview with John Park, John talked about how his father switched between using a power and bulk routine to build up his size, his physique, and his strength early on in his career. And later on, he would switch to use a high volume routine, especially prior to competing. Well, I did a bit of research and found this gem of an article recently, which coincides with a series of videos I've presented previously on Reg Park's training routines from the 1950s. Now, before detailing his complete routine, I would like to warn that Reg, in this particular article, did not recommend this program for beginners at all. Instead, he recommended that they should train and build their size and strength first before using such a routine. Here is a fantastic photo of Reg Park hitting a most muscular pose in 1950, most likely around June or July when he was still in the States, I believe. And it is a very rare photo which was recently posted by John Park, so thank you for posting this, John. After doing my research and having several conversations with Reg Park's son John, I can now state for sure that Reg Park used the flushing method as advocated by Joe Wader in the early 1950s prior to competing in the Universe and the Mr. Europe. Essentially all it is that one should group common exercises that target a certain body part together and train each body part separately, much like today's gym bro programs. As an example, you would train 3 or 4 exercises for your biceps as one example, and then train that part separately. However, and this is a big however, Reg Park would use the flushing method in combination with heavy weights, hence the title of this page, flushing method, the Reg Park way. I mean, we're talking about Reg Park here, right? And to quote Reg Park from this particular article, "I use such heavy weights and expend such a tremendous amount of energy on each body part that I cannot do justice to more than one major part of my body during any particular workout." And so you have to understand that this is not your typical gym bro program. We are talking about doing the flushing method the Reg Park way. So here is Reg Park's 1950 high volume weekly program in full. And this is direct from Reg Park, right? Now we can see that he trained 3 times a day, and this has been confirmed by John. 6 days in a row. I mean, this is insane amount of high volume. Damn. And then he would take 2 days off, and on each of these days he would try and go as heavy as possible. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Day 1 he would do his arms for an hour in the morning, chest train for an hour in the afternoon, and then follow this in the evening, training legs for about 2 hours. The second day, so that is day 2, the day after day 1, no rest, he would then do delts in the morning, upper back, so lats, etc., in the afternoon, and then finish off with a lighter routine of lower back, abs, and neck for an hour at night. This was Reg Park's high volume routine, or his program for the whole week. Now, if you want to know the particular exercises that he did in this high volume program, I recommend that you watch my Reg Park playlist, which breaks down every single body part program or routine that he did in the 1950s. So I've made videos for his 1950s high volume arms routine, chest, legs, shoulders, and back. It's all there, as well as abs. I've done videos for all of them, and I don't want to repeat this in this video, else this video is going to go for an hour. So you can check it out on my Reg Park playlist. Now, it is also no surprise that Reg would also often revert back to his power and bulk training routine, usually during the off-season, to create more muscular bulk and size. To quote him, "Every once in a while, I make a change and practice power and bulk exercises for a couple of days." Now, I've detailed Reg Parks' training for power and bulk routines, of which there are two actually, in previous videos, which you'll also find on my Reg Park playlist. Essentially, these are power exercises. As you can see, here's one of the schedules where you do squats, bench presses, the two hands clean, that is, the press behind the neck, the barbell curl, and the deadlift. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the golden era and silver era training programs of the champions such as Don Howarth, Chuck Sipes, Steve Reeves, etc., you can find all this information on my website www.goldenerabookworm.com. For example, if you want to learn about Don Howarth and how he developed his fantastic delts, which in my many conversations with him, he has confirmed that these are the programs that he followed. I mean, this particular booklet was written by Gene Mosé, one of his friends, but Gene Mosé actually lived with Don Howarth and saw him train. And I mean, these photos are his photos. So this is definitely what Don Howarth did. You can find this on my website. You can also find out from Chuck Sipes' routines, for example, Preparation for Physique Competition, a fantastic booklet, again written by Chuck Sipes, which follows several months of his training routines, diet, etc., all on my website www.goldenerabookworm.com. So I hope you've enjoyed this video on Reg Parks' 1950 high volume training routine, which he used prior to winning the Mr. Europe in 1950 and prior to competing against Steve Reeves in the Mr. Universe. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't to the Golden Era Bookworm. Leave me your comments, and thank you for watching. If you'd like to continue supporting my research and the videos that I continue to produce, please donate via PayPal. You can become a patron on my Patreon account, where I often upload weekly photos, articles, and books from old school bodybuilding, of course. And if you'd like to check out my website, there's many out of print old school bodybuilding titles, books, and courses, all on my website www.goldenerabookworm.com. You can always contact me, of course, to pass on your books and magazines, which I always add to my collection and help with my research. Anyway, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video once again. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now. And for an entertaining look at the history of bodybuilding's supplement industry, I would highly recommend watching Subs the Movie, which I have collaborated in, available at Amazon Prime and Vimeo.
Hi everybody, I just want to recommend this phenomenal book, Vince's Secret Locker, volume number 2 by Carl Coyne. I've been looking at this for about 4 weeks and I can't put it down. If you get a chance, check it out. He also has a part 1 that I highly recommend also. Vince was the trainer to the stars and had an amazing, interesting gym that today there's still not equipment like it around. It was all made out of wood. He'll be on our radio show coming up probably in the next couple weeks or so. Have a great day, and again, highly recommend this book.